Thank you. I'm going to probably do this all wrong because I don't have lots of statistics and science and things like that, so I'm going to do it the Henry way as soon as I figure out how to work this. There we go. Can you hear me if I talk right here? Okay. Well, I'll start off a little introduction. I guess I've been in the tobacco industry about 26 years. 26 years ago, I went to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and became a leader and a driver for the Natural American Spirit brand. I grew that brand from about $20 million in 1998 to $150 million in 2002. And sold the brand to R.J. Reynolds for $356 million. I retired for a little while and then got back into the tobacco industry by founding 22nd Century Group with a seed investment. We grew that company from about a $5 million market cap to a public company with $1 billion market cap. Unfortunately, upon my departure, the company took a turn to the cannabis space and has then gone from $1 billion market cap to today about an $8 million market cap. But I'll say that I learned there, we sold the world's highest nicotine cigarette and also the world's lowest nicotine cigarette, both made possible by genetic engineering the tobacco plant. And in doing so, we actually brought to market the world's lowest nicotine cigarette. It's called VLN, some of you might have heard of it. And through 7 years, $150 million of National Institute of Health spending and $22 million of our own spending, along with Dr. Ed Carmines, a principal of Chemular, who spearheaded that modified risk application in the PMTA, we became the only company in the world to receive an FDA modified risk designation for a combustible cigarette. So I learned quite a bit there, took another break, and came to this industry having never sold a vape product before 3 years ago. And my thesis was, when I came, was really to be the Boy Scouts of the industry. Continue not to know how to use this. I guess so. So the idea was really to come in and write the most complete, thorough PMTA applications that we could for Charlie's e-liquid products originally. And we did. As a small public company, we spent about $7 million on our PMTA applications in 2020, August of 2020, we actually submitted those applications. And the idea was to submit those applications and to do the right thing and to be rewarded in the marketplace. Well, it's 3 years, 4 months later, and we're still in substantive review and have not yet received a marketing order from the FDA. And in the meantime, we held back on synthetic nicotine products for quite some time. We held back on Delta products, but eventually we entered the synthetic nicotine product space with disposables. And once again, FDA gained regulatory control of synthetic nicotine products. We submitted our applications, spent a lot of money, spent 7 figures, and it's more than 18 months now. We're in substantive review, continuing to wait. So we learned quite a bit. You have to stay in business. You have to make some money. So unlike some of my predecessors here who are talking a lot about markets and a lot about consumer trends and different possibilities, I'm going to talk about making money. That's what we're here for. We're here as business people to make some money. So 18 months ago, I said, hey, we can't wait around for the FDA to give us a marketing order while we're trying to pay our bills, pay our people, grow our company, and create shareholder value. We need a nicotine substitute. So, and you know, I wanted to put it on this page for a little while. We're a public company, OTCQB, CHUC, CHUC. So now I've shown the safe harbor disclaimer page, so we can move off of that. But we spent 18 months, and that rating's probably pretty small, but the gist of it is we tried to do the right thing. We submitted all our applications on time, and we're still waiting for PMTA authorization. And let's look at the red text there. To date, no company in the world has received an FDA marketing order for a flavored product. As a matter of fact, just this morning, FDA issued a press release, I guess bragging. FDA has issued to date 440 warning letters to retailers, 88 civil money penalties to retailers, 660 warning letters to distributors and manufacturers, 48 civil money penalties to manufacturers and distributors, and 7 injunctions. To date, FDA has authorized 23 tobacco-flavored e-cigarette products and 0 flavored products. So 18 months ago, I said, we can't do this. We need a nicotine substitute product. We need a product that consumers will enjoy in exactly the same way that they enjoy nicotine products. Same sensory characteristics, same sense of pleasure, all of those things. In fact, it would be best if consumers couldn't tell the difference between our new product and a nicotine product. So we did a worldwide search. I used some of the experience that I had gained at 22nd Century Group with very low, very high nicotine substitute products. We looked at natural products. We looked at synthetic products. We looked all around the world. And honestly, we failed. And we were pretty sure that we would never find one. So just over a year ago, when we'd really just about thrown in the towel, we stumbled upon an alkaloid that is very, very similar to nicotine, a synthetically derived alkaloid that provides the exact same sensory experience that nicotine does, that is indistinguishable from nicotine. Metatine is our trademark name for this proprietary ingredient. Metatine is not, let me repeat, is not derived from or made from tobacco or nicotine. Metatine does not contain nicotine or any parts of the tobacco plant. Metatine is a synthetic molecule. It's an alkaloid that very closely resembles nicotine, but it is not nicotine, it is not derived from tobacco, and guess what? It's not subject to FDA PMTA review. This isn't us being cute or tricky, it's us being pragmatic. We spent a lot of time and a lot of money, and we've identified something that's really a consumer need. Consumers want this product. More than 85% of consumers want flavored products, period. I'm not talking about youth, I'm talking about adult smokers primarily who want a flavored product, or they report they're gonna go back to cigarettes. And frankly, 6 years ago, the FDA was encouraging adult smokers to vape. And now somehow we've gotten lost. We've gotten lost with this whole youth issue. But at the end of the day, Metatine is not made or derived from tobacco, does not consist of contain nicotine for any source, yet provides the user with the same sensation as nicotine. I think you've all received a sample Spree bar. That's a starter kit. It contains a flavor pod, a battery, and a charger cable. I encourage those of you who vape to try it and to talk to me after or to talk to me at the show, and we could tell you a lot more about it. But what is Metatine? Metatine is a patented non-nicotine compound that provides adult users with a strong sense of satisfaction that is largely indistinguishable from traditional vape products. Now, what we've done, just to satisfy ourselves that this is the case, that all the claims I'm making are exactly right, we've given this product to hundreds of adult consumers, side by side, without labeling, without packaging, side by side with a traditional nicotine vape product. Out of 250 consumers, and we didn't ask the question, do you think this is nicotine? We asked them to simply give us feedback on the two different devices. Out of the 250 or so consumers, exactly 0 said, hey, you know what? This one's not nicotine. 0. We had people say, hey, I really like this flavor. Or, oh, gee, I wish this one were a little sweeter. Or, this is a very interesting device. It's very different from any other device that I've ever used. Or it's a pod system, just like my old Juul flavored products were. Those are the comments we got back. Exactly 0 of the 250 said, hey, you know what? This isn't nicotine. I don't like it. I think that's a success. How does Metatine compare to nicotine? I mean, essentially I'm saying the same thing. May have a toxicity profile similar to nicotine. In fact, there have been the Ames tests, eye and skin irritation testing, cytotoxicity testing, and to date, Metatine has demonstrated no toxicity other than oral toxicity, very, very similar to nicotine. There are no additional side effects. There are no withdrawal symptoms. The sensory experience is indistinguishable from that of nicotine vapes. So what have we done? Well, flavor pods are back. That's the headline. Flavor pods are back. That's what consumers want. Why do they want them? I mean, Juul popularized flavor pods, but why do consumers want them? Well, one reason is they're better for the environment. If you use the batteries are reusable and rechargeable with Spree Bar. That's not legal for a nicotine product, but for a product not regulated by the FDA, it's a flavored pod system that is entirely legal. So a consumer can use literally 100 times fewer batteries using Spree Bar than they would use with, Geek Bar, Elf Bar, Raz, Flume. You can use the same battery every week for years. But, that's important for the crunchy granola consumers. What's important for all the consumers? How about half the price? The battery's the most expensive component of a disposable. If you reuse the battery, the device is substantially cheaper. On average, our pods are about a 6,000 puff pod is about 50% less than a 5,500 puff Geek Bar or a 5,500 puff Elf Bar. About half the price. Oh wait, but there's more. That's before tax savings. In approximately half the states in the United States that charge a nicotine tax, half, not all, but in about half the states that charge a nicotine tax, Spree Bar's exempt. It's not nicotine. Minnesota has a 95% nicotine tax. Doesn't apply to Spree Bar. So the product's half as expensive before you start and no tax. I think that's compelling. So what we've done is, again, I don't know a lot about these trends and all this science stuff and where things are headed in the market. What I know is that consumers want flavored pods. You don't want to, some people I'm sure at this show, they're selling botanicals or potpourri in a vape or some kind of nonsense. Consumers don't want that either. They want the nicotine experience flavored. And if we can give it to them at half the price, that's a grand slam. So that's what this product's all about. Award-winning flavors. Charlie's is well known for award-winning flavors with our e-liquid history. Nicotine tax exempt in many states, reusable, rechargeable, not subject to the FDA's PMTA review, and not subject to many marketing restrictions that traditional nicotine devices are. If you take a look at your sample packs, what's the difference between that pack and a Hyde or a Lost Berry? Who knows? Raise your hand. Who's observant? What's the difference? Well, I hope not, but that's not it. A Hyde or a Lost Mary or an Elf bar, any of those products, they have a silhouette of the device on the pack. We have a person. The human image is illegal on tobacco products, but it's legal because we're not a tobacco product. That human image actually is very important. It's something that consumers gravitate to, and it makes the product stand out on a shelf. If you go to a vape shop, you'll see shelves and shelves and shelves of product, all showing a silhouette of the product, or maybe a window with the device through it. Ours has human images they're actually AI images, which is a whole nother marketing story that goes along with the brand and the product. But it makes the product different and unique and stand out. This is too hard for me to really understand. A big, long, giant legal opinion that says they're legal. They're not a tobacco product. They're not derived from tobacco. They contain no nicotine. They're not subject to FDA PMTA review. That's what that says. And this chart really sums it up. I like this chart a lot. I invented this chart. You've got Geek. I think these are 3 of the top selling brands right now. Excuse me. These are 3 of the top selling illegal brands right now that probably 50% of you carry if you have stores. But Geek Bar, Raz, and Lost Mary do not have PMTAs, certainly do not have marketing order PMTAs. So they don't have award-winning flavors that are legal across all 50 states. Spree Bar does. They are not PMTA exempt. Spree Bar is. They do not contain Metatine. Spree Bar does. They are not nicotine tax exempt. Spree Bar is. They do not have a rechargeable, reusable battery because that's illegal for tobacco products. Spree Bar has it. And they are not 6,000 puff disposables with a $9.95 MSRP. Spree Bar flavor pods are. So we're very proud of this product. I encourage you all to do your homework, to learn some more, to come to our booth 17101. I encourage you to talk to us, to learn more, to look at our company. We are a public company, and I'll just say real quick, a little commercial. There were hundreds of retailers who approached me in 1999, 2000, 2001 about becoming shareholders of Santa Fe Natural Tobacco Company. They said, hey, we're growing, we're carrying your product, we're selling more every month. How can I buy stock? And we were a private company with just 100 shareholders, and they couldn't buy the stock. When we sold out to Reynolds, a lot of them were upset because we made a lot of money. Then I went to 22nd Century, and again, I grew that company from $5 million in sales, or not in sales, in market cap, to $1 billion market cap. A lot of people made a lot of money, many millions of dollars. Some who held didn't. Frankly, I held. But those folks who decided to own a part of the company and grew with the company made millions of dollars. We are a public company. I'll tell you that I have, with my own money, I've spent 7 figures on our stock at the same prices that you can buy it at today. So I suggest do some due diligence, look at CHUC, CHUC. Learn more about our company, learn more about our management, and I hope that you'll become a shareholder. You'll be my boss. Thank you.